Okay, hi everyone, and welcome back to another video. Okay, so the scripture I'm going to be talking about today is in Matthew 14. I think it's about 2 weeks ago, God led me to reading this specific scripture, and it just spoke volumes to me. So I was going to read to you, okay, let me just say, I was going to read to you Matthew 14 from verse 27, but I'm going to read for you from verse 22 just to give you a little bit more info, and then I'll read up until verse 33. Okay. Immediately he made the disciples get into the boat and go ahead of him to the other side. This is now Jesus, while he dismissed the crowds. After dismissing the crowds, he went up on the mountain by himself to pray. When evening came, he was there alone, but the boat was already over a mile from land, battered by the waves because the wind was against them. Around 3 in the morning, he came toward them, walking on the sea. When the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were terrified. "It's a ghost," they said, and cried out in fear. Immediately Jesus spoke to them. "Have courage, it is I. Don't be afraid." "Lord, if it's you," Peter answered him, "command me to come to you on the water." "Come," he said. And climbing out of the boat, Peter started walking on the water and came toward Jesus. But when he saw the strength of the wind, he was afraid, and beginning to sink, he cried out, "Lord, save me." Immediately Jesus reached out his hand, caught hold of him, and said to him, "You of little faith, why did you doubt?" When they got into the boat, the wind ceased. Then those in the boat worshipped him and said, "Truly, you are the Son of God." Okay, so when I read this scripture, God starts speaking to me about, sometimes like God gives us a word for our future, some prophetic word. And so when God gives us this word, like obviously we do get excited, and then we have all this faith like Peter had, and then he steps out of the boat on the water. So we have all this faith. Yes, God gave me this word and this is going to happen. So then so we do like Peter. We get out of the boat and we partner with God with this word that he has given us, and we go, yes, God said this, and this is going to be so. So then what happens next is the word takes long, sometimes it takes a very long time to get established. So now we're like sitting and we're waiting and we're like not seeing this word coming to pass. And then we're looking at all these circumstances around us, and we see like Peter, like the waves and the wind and the stormy ocean. And that makes us start doubting. So we're looking at all the circumstances, and we go like, now this word that God has given us is it's starting to seem impossible. And then we also do what Peter did when he says when he says, "Lord, if it's you," Peter answered him, "command me to come to you on the water." So then we keep on seeking confirmation. We keep on going and saying to God, "God, if this was you who gave me this word, I need more confirmation." So we're doing exactly like Peter did. And then God gives us confirmation. Jesus says, "Come," because he did say that word. He did say to you. And so then we step out of the water, but then all the storms comes, and the circumstances just doesn't look like this word is going to come through. And then we start doubting, and sometimes we start losing our faith. But then what do? We call out to Jesus, we call out to God, and we say, "Please help me, because I'm just like not seeing this coming to pass, and my faith is really like I'm really struggling here to hold onto this word that you have given me, Abba. And then what does Jesus do when as soon as we start feeling like we're sinking, just like Peter did? What does Jesus do? He is the word says the word says in verse 31, immediately Jesus reached out his hand, caught hold of him, and said to him. So what does Jesus do? He immediately comes to our rescue. So when we start doubting about the word that God has given us, when we start looking at the circumstances and the storms around us, and we start to sink because we're starting to doubt, call out to him. Call out to him, because this is what Jesus does. He's immediately there. He is immediately there. He reaches out and he pulls us back up. He gives us more confirmation that this is him indeed. He gives us courage. He gives us faith. So in those moments, call out to him. Pray to him, spend time with God, spend time in his word, and he will be there immediately to come and encourage you to keep on holding on to this promise that he has given you. Okay, so then what Jesus says is, let me just see, so then Jesus says, you of little faith, why did you doubt? And I feel like when I was reading this scripture, I felt like Jesus saying to me, God saying to me, when I pull you back up, and when this word comes to pass, you're going to ask yourself, why? Why did I have so little faith? Why did I for one moment doubt that Jesus would not come through for me? Why for one moment did I doubt? Why did I put myself through that agony of starting to lose faith in this word that he has given me, starting to lose faith that he will come through on his promises that he has given me? Why did I put myself through that agony, that heartache, and that pain of doubt and not having faith? It is when God has given you a promise, it will be so, because he says in his word, I am faithful. He's a faithful God, and this word shall, where he sends it forth, it shall prosper, and it shall not return back empty to him. So then further, so when they got into the boat, then the wind ceased, the storm ceased. Jesus ceases the storms. So when you call out to him, he ceases the storms. And then further in verse 33, then those in the boat worshipped him and said, truly you are the Son of God. And I just felt like when I was reading this, God saying to me, when this word that I have given you, that I've spoken over your life, when it finally does come through, when I come through for you in that hour when I act and I come through for you, and my word that I've spoken over your life gets established, then you will say, indeed you are God. Indeed, I am God. God, indeed, he is God. Indeed, he is faithful. Indeed, what he says, so shall it be. So, yeah, I think that is all I have to say about this word. I'll encourage you to go and read the scripture for yourself. So it's Matthew 14 from verse 22 to 33. But I'm also going to write it down in the description below. And I want you to go and spend some time with God on His word. And every time when you have doubt about the word that God has given you, just call out to Him. He will be there immediately, and He is faithful. His word will come to fruition in your life. And why I also wanted to make this video is because God has given me personal word for my life and promises and prophecies, and sometimes it's really, really difficult. But then when I spend time with God and I call out to him and I ask for confirmation and I ask him to help me build my faith so I can just trust in him, then this is how he speaks. He speaks through his word, and he gives us this beautiful, beautiful revelations about his word straight from his heart. So I encourage you to yourself go and spend time with God and see and get to know him, because he really wants to talk to you. He really wants to spend time with you, and he really wants to reveal beautiful and great revelations straight from his heart to you. He says, like, ask me, and I will reveal things to you that you did not know, wondrous things that you did not know. Okay, I'm going to leave you with this, and thank you so much for watching and listening, and you can subscribe to get notifications when my next video comes out. And I hope you have a beautiful week ahead, and hold on to God, partner with him with those promises he has given over your life, and hold on, keep the faith, know that he's faithful, and know he will come through for you. Thank you so much, and speak to you soon. Bye.